Hi, I'm Michael Taylor. I'm the Chief Curator and Deputy Director for Art and Education at the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts. And I'm here to talk about Man Ray the Paris Years. So one of the great highlights of the Man Ray the Paris Years exhibition is a gallery devoted to solarization. This was a method of portraiture that he applies to subjects like Merritt Oppenheim, Georges Braque, and Max Ernst. And when you see those photographs, they look unlike any other portraits in the exhibition. So in order to take a deeper dive into this technique, we've invited Jeffrey Allison, our head of statewide programs, and himself, a serious photographer, to delve into this technique. How do you make a solarized portrait?
Solarization is actually a photography technique originally called the Sabatier effect that was discovered in the 1850s. But in 1929, Lee Miller, a wonderful model and photographer in her own right, was working as an assistant to Man Ray, making photographs in his darkroom. The story goes that a mouse ran across her foot, and she did the one thing you should never do in a darkroom. She flipped on the light, realized her mistake, and shut the light off immediately. That created a solarized print in which the original tonalities of the print are basically reversed, and it creates what could be described as an amazingly silver-based image. We're at the VMFA studio darkroom, and we're going to experiment. So let's go into the darkroom and see what we can do. Well, here we are in the VMFA Studio School wet darkroom, and we're going to attempt to make a solarization in the style of Man Ray. Earlier, we did a photo shoot with Madeline, and that film was processed. I've now placed one of the negatives into the enlarger. I've set it so that I have it cropped the way I want it. If you remember, Man Ray did a lot of extensive cropping on his photographs, and sometimes use some very interesting angles. So we're going to look at that today. I'm going to turn around and go over to the enlarger and set it up. I have my light-sensitive photo paper that I'm placing in this frame. I have my timer set for 12 seconds. Everything is ready. All I have to do is push the button and step back. Okay, once the exposure is complete, I'm going to bring the paper back around, and the first bath I put it in is the developer. And that's actually going to change the silver halide crystals that are in the paper and bring up a normal black and white photograph. So I place it gently in the developer, and then I time it for 1.5 minutes. At the end of 1.5 minutes, I remove the paper, put it into a second tray of developer, and bring it over, and I already have a second enlarger set up with a white circle of light. We're going to expose this print for 1 second, and then I'm going to continue to watch it. It's going to continue to process, and slowly the blacks are going to become silver, the whites are going to take on a beautiful black quality, and it's going to completely transform the image. When we see it exactly as we want it, we pull the print out and place it in the stop bath, which immediately ceases the development. Next, we go into the fixer, which makes the print no longer sensitive to daylight. It will stay in here for 4 minutes since we're using resin-coated paper. After we've been here for 4 minutes, we put it in a water bath to make sure that we wash all the fixer off, and then we can take a look at it outside in the daylight.
When Man Ray learns about solarization, he says to Lee Miller, these don't even look like photographs, and he meant that in a good way. He was a radical nonconformist. He wanted to challenge the history and techniques and traditions of photography, and he sees a new way to do it. We have a whole gallery of Solarization portraits in the Man Ray the Paris Years exhibition at the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts. I hope you'll come see the exhibition. Get your ticket today.